are back. Hopefully this thing holds up. Not really sure what happened last time. Connection just kind of like went haywire, died out on me. I'm not sure. But we're back. And just to kind of bring this thing and round it up, bring it to an end, we're going to take a look here at this tweet from Maria Taylor. Now, why are we taking a look at this tweet? What does this tweet have to do with what's going on right now with ESPN's turmoil? Well, this is the tweet. This is like the first real, I guess, communication outside of that TikTok that we've seen from Maria Taylor, and I believe this was after the finals or whatever it was. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But this was a tweet that Maria Taylor put out, which I find it quite ironic that, just in the message that she's putting out here, I find it ironic, kind of what her perspective is based on the situation as it's played out in her favor. This tweet, it says, during the dark times, I always remember that I am in this position to open doors and light the path that others walk down. I've taken some punches, but that just means I'm still in the fight. Remember to lift as you climb and always keep rising. Now, again, with the, I guess you could call this like motivational message. To me, I hear this, I read this, and almost immediately I'm kind of taken aback because during the dark times is quite a it's quite a telling way to start off this statement. She's taken a few punches. I mean, can you elaborate? Because it looks like your arrow has done nothing but go straight up the whole time you've been at ESPN. I mean, and that's because of the work you put in, of course, and also because of the help that corporation has given you in the name of their image and them promoting diversity, which is all good and well, and I'm all for, except when it is addition through subtraction. I think I've said that numerous times. Addition through subtraction is not diversity. All that does is move the pendulum from one side to the other. So at some point, if you continue to do that, at some point, you're going to run into a situation where now those people who you brought in promotion of diversity are the majority, and they are now in the position to dictate things over those who are not in their diverse group. That becomes a problem because now you're just moving it from one side to the other instead of keeping it balanced. How do you keep it balanced? You keep it balanced by adding through addition. You add more seats. You don't pull one out to put one in. And I find it hard to believe. And I actually responded to her in this. And this is what I truly believe. I responded, and my tweet says, you turned down $5 million. I never even knew Maria until this story broke. No disrespect. Can't be that dark if it's so easy to turn down a bag like that. And you're not even a household name beforehand. But go off. I understand what she's saying here, and lift your people up, the people you work with, you want to bring them along with you. But at the end of the day, if one of those people you work with is taking your job, you're not going to be happy about that. You're not going to be happy about it. I don't care what your messages are to the public. In private, you ain't going to be happy about that. Rachel Nichols is a perfect example. She is all for diversity, but don't take money out of her pockets when it's already been promised. Don't take a job away from her when it's already been promised. Let me look this up real quick. Okay. 8 days ago. So this is all before. And let's go to Sports Illustrated. This is all before the entire situation went down with Rachel Nichols. Damn, I hate all these ads. Get the freak out of here. I don't even like, how do I get this out of here? Go away. All right. So, again, when you're in a position to actually affect your life through the hard work you've put in, you're in a position to actually cash in on that. You can change your life and in the life of many people around you for the better. You're in a situation where now, as someone who's been at the network but is not a household name, she's not. You cannot convince me that she is a household name. Because if she were a household name, and, if I wanted to compare, I could. And there are many ways to do that, because there are many different things that you will find Stephen A. Smith on that are not even related in any way to ESPN. Many different endorsements. Even though I do have a certain level of dislike for Stephen A. Smith, I will not in any way deny that he is a household name in sports. Why? Well, you've seen Stephen A. Smith as the lead spokesman for a nationwide beef jerky brand that had a number of different commercials. Remember the commercials where you would have Richard Sherman when he was with the Seahawks, working out, and they're talking about this beef jerky and he's the voice that's kind of narrating the commercial. It's Stephen A. Smith's voice. Like Stephen A. Smith, when you hear him, you know that voice. Like Stephen A. Smith has been on TV shows. He's been on soap operas. He's been in commercials. The guy has endorsements up and down. You see him on national TV. They were playing his commercial during a commercial that he was in years ago during the Super Bowl. Stephen A. Smith that is what a household name looks like. That is how a household name is exposed to the public. You will see them in many different things that are not associated directly with their actual line of work. You see that with Stephen A. Smith. I have never, and if there is one, link it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to look at it. But I've never seen anything in way of endorsements as far as TV goes, at least with Maria Taylor. I've never seen her on anything other than as a host on an ESPN show. And that's if I seen her. I can't even tell you when I seen her. I've seen the face before, but I never knew who she was. And to me, when I think of ESPN and their franchise players, we'll just call them, I think Stephen A. Smith is number one. Scott Van Pelt, I think he's one of their faces, but I think he's done now. And Rachel Nichols. I see her as a reporter in all of their shit. Those are the only kind of names that, and then Stuart Scott, even though RIP, he's passed away. Stuart Scott is the other one. He was the face of the franchise. Those are the only names that come to my mind. I don't think of none of these former players because they all interchangeable. I don't think of none of them. And my entire philosophy on former players and actual corporate sports media is not good, Because a lot of them be faking the funk. They be faking the funk. It's crazy. It's crazy. Especially, I mean, I can only speak for football. But I used to watch, even when I was playing, I used to watch these cats on TV and be like, dude, you know you are lying. That is not how we operate as in football when it comes to certain situation like that. Like, these cats will not be genuine about the reality of how things operate behind the veil. They won't. They become talking heads because they got a script. They become talking heads. That's what they do. So for me, whenever I, think of faces of a company like ESPN that are the actual faces of their franchise, it always boils down to these individual personalities that actually separate themselves from the pack through their unique personalities, their unique style of broadcasting. They have very unique styles. It's like, if you ask me who is the most recognizable voice in like basketball play-by-play, as somebody who doesn't watch basketball like I watch football, I can tell you of the only voice that I associate with basketball play-by-play, and I don't remember the cat's name, obviously, because I'm not a full-blown everyday basketball guy, but the cat who goes, bang! Dirk takes the shot, bang! Like the bang guy. The guy who says bang when they be hitting them threes. Like, that dude, to me, is the most recognizable voice in play-by-play. And before that, it was Marv Albert to me with professional basketball. So, yeah, Marv Albert, yeah, see, Mike Breen, yeah, the bang guy. That dude is iconic. That's a household, that guy, whether you know his name or not, you know who it is when you hear him go, bang! Like, he's the bang guy. That's a household thing. Everybody who watches basketball in this country knows that guy's voice. Every single person. Every single person. Marv Albert. Every single person. The cat who wore the funny suits all the time. I forget his name even. Like, it's only because I haven't watched basketball that much really in the last 2 years. But only those cats. Those are household people. Those are people that are recognizable from coast to coast if you watch those sports. Maria Taylor, I have no idea. I had no idea who she was. I had no idea at all who she was. And I don't want to take away from her professional side for that. I'm indifferent. I have no opinion on that. She's been doing a lot of work. She's been hosting stuff. That's great. That's great. I don't think she was unworthy of hosting the NBA Finals by any stretch of the imagination. If she was worthy of it, she was worthy of it. But that's not the question here. The question is it right to move her ahead of Nichols if Nichols is contracted for it? No, it ain't right. That's not right. That's not good business. That's not good business. Nobody's saying she ain't deserve it, but she's already taken that and using it as they'll say that you don't deserve the promotion. Nobody said you ain't deserve the promotion. People just said, don't take money out of my pocket because the company wants to look good. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It got to do with the company. Now, if you take that as a slight towards you, that's on you. That's your problem. That I can't help that. But it's not. I'm not slighting you. And that's why I didn't get why Rachel Nichols came out and apologized. I wouldn't have apologized. I would have told people what the fuck the deal was. I'd have said, look, I know that we're in a hypersensitive society right now, but my comments about ESPN and their lack of an actual good record with diversity in their corporation was not a jab at Maria in any way. It was me calling out the corporation that I work for in that they're now bending and twisting themselves and actually violating the contracts of other employees just to project an image that, by all intents, they do not really truly represent. So, hey, your name only came up because they're trying to screw me over for you. But I don't have no problem with you even having the job if it weren't for them taking it from me and trying to offer me a demotion instead. Like, stop. You're insulting my intelligence to ask me to take less than what I've signed on the dotted line for. Because if I ask the company to do that, they'll tell me to go to hell. So why? That shit don't make no sense. Formerly Rod Line, $4.99. Formerly Rod Line, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. He says, have you seen I Am Athlete here on YouTube? If not, it's interesting. You know what? I have not watched one episode of I Am Athlete. Not because I don't think that it's worthwhile to watch. I haven't really got around to watching it. But I do have an interest in that show because Fred Taylor was my teammate in Jacksonville. Fred Taylor was a hell of a guy. He's a guy I looked up to, guy I respected the hell out of, a guy that is a legend, should be in the Hall of Fame at this point in the NFL. And Fred is just an all-around real dude, and he's genuine. And he knows a little bit about he knows a lot about how these behind-the-scene things operate as well. Fred was my guy. I played 2 years with Fred in Jacksonville. Shit. Yeah, Fred, oh man. I remember we played in Indianapolis, and it was like we were just running the ball the whole game in Indy. That was my second year in the league. And Freddie was, he was getting off, and I was just like, man, this dude is, how long he been in the league? This cat play like he only been in the league a few years. He got young legs. It looked like he's got good burst. But he was always he was a leader in the locker room, no doubt. Fred Taylor was a leader in the locker room. He led by example. He didn't do a lot of talking. You never really saw Fred Taylor celebrating or doing any dances or stuff like that. When he scored touchdowns, he was just a football player, and he was a leader. He was a man about it. And, again, there's nothing wrong with dancing in the end zone, but that just wasn't his style. And Freddie was just, he was an OG, man. And I love that dude. So yeah, I would love to link up with those cats. See, the thing about it to me is like, I'm doing this, I'm doing these live streams. I love talking to you guys. I love like conversating with you guys and just talking, and being able to kind of express my thoughts on things. Cause I don't think that there's like a, I don't think I'm like controversial or nothing, but I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat things that I don't think are worth sugarcoating. And I don't know. I would like to connect with some of these different shows that are doing stuff, but it's all about timing. It's all about, having them set it up, Like I said, I reached out to Kwame Brown, haven't heard back. I reached out to him multiple times, haven't heard back. I've reached out to a number of different players who are playing now currently in the NFL, haven't heard back. So, to me, it's like, I would think being in that fraternity as NFL brothers, if I reach out and introduce myself and say, hey, I'm a former NFL player, played 7 years, blah, 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 and, make a request, the very least I get a response. Don't really see that these days with the current lot of players, which I find that to be, that's kind of disappointing because you just kind of want, you would think that you kind of have that inside track when it comes to that, but it's not as easy as you think. When I reach out, I kind of stopped reaching out to different players to try and get them on, because I had a number of my old teammates come on when I first started doing Lineman Life, And it was cool, and I had a great time talking with him. I had a great time. I think obviously the biggest athlete that I've had on was Maurice Jones-Drew. That was my very first episode. And, it's weird, I mean, it's weird. I try to not really jump into it too much just because, everybody's got their own life. They got things they doing, and you know what their schedule's like. But, I would think that former players, being able to get in touch with other former players or current players through social media just to, to try and get like an interview with them, to talk with them on a live stream. I would think that those things, I would think that they would at least respond to those things, but I haven't got much in way of responses. But I do have a quick story before we go into this article. I know y'all love my stories. Quick story about that really kind of like pissed me. Like, the old saying, never meet your heroes. That is the truth. Why? Because growing up, one of my favorite players, matter of fact, my favorite player all the way through college, my favorite player in the NFL was Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp, I always wanted to play like him. I always watched how he played. I was a defensive tackle, defensive end in high school, and my first year in college, I was a defensive end. But Warren Sapp was always that was my guy. That was the guy that I tried to emulate when I played. So, fast forward, I never got to actually play against Warren Sapp, but I was in the NFL. My rookie year was his last year. So Warren Sapp, he did, I got a couple of old teammates that, Takeo Spikes, Takeo wasn't my teammate, but I'm friends with Takeo Spikes and Tutan Reyes. Behind the Mask, that's their podcast. It's BTM, Behind the Mask podcast. So make sure you check them out on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel. These guys do interviews they have so many interviews with legendary players, with all pro players that are playing now. They don't get barely any views, which is a shame. Like, they should be getting a ton of views, but they don't really get any views. These guys got Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, all these different cats, interviews coming in, no problem. So I reached out to him because I saw they had Warren Sapp. I reached out to him. Matter of fact, to tell this story, let me make sure I'm on full screen here, so you guys can really dig what I'm saying. So, these cats, and you know what? See, that's my ADD kicking in. Let me pull up there so you can see what their channel actually looks like. Because they got a damn good they got a good channel. Oh, they got Freddie T on there. They actually have Freddie T. Well, shit.
What's up, everybody? Fred Taylor here, man. We on the Behind the Mask podcast. I got a chance to chop it up with my dogs, Takeo and Tu. We talking about everything. Y'all tap in to get behind. That's true. And
okay, so Tutan Reyes, one of my old teammates here. These two are my old teammates. Tutan Reyes, he was in Jacksonville with me. And Fred Taylor, obviously, right here. Then you got Takeo Spikes. That's a homeboy, too. Real cool with him. These guys have all these, when I show you, look at these guys. Look at all these people that they have. Let me see. Where are their interviews? Okay. They have Olympic players. They got female basketball players. Clinton Portis. Let me see here. They got Patrick Willis, Trent Brown, Carlos Dunlap, Calvin Johnson, Jamal Lewis, Javon Curse, Roddy White, London Fletcher, Luke Kuechly. Damn. They got names, you know what I mean? They got Let me see here. They got Donovan McNabb. I mean, they got names, my guy. They even got the referees. Jerome Boger. Terrell Owens. Anthony Hitchens. Tremont Edmonds. I mean, come on, bruh. Chris Broussard. Come on, man. They've got, like, you know, this channel, they got a ton of cats. They got DK Metcalf. That's my old teammate right there. Rashad Jennings. Malcolm Jenkins, who I think is a sucker. Trey Waynes. They don't got Cam. Was Cam on there? Was Cam on there? Oh, no. That was just them reporting that. Melvin Gordon. I mean, look at this. Dwayne Brown. Champ Bailey. Osio Manura. I mean, they got straight numbers. I mean, not numbers, but straight like legends. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of setting up like these. Like I hit up Tuton. I'm like, two. I think I seen them do he said that I think either I asked him about Sapp or they had Sapp on. No, they had Warren Sapp on one of these. I remember. Where is it? Hugh Douglas. I mean, come on, bruh. They had Sapp on one of these. Can't remember where it's at. But they had Sapp, and my ass, I hit up two, and I'm like, two. Hey man, can you guys link me up with Warren Sapp? Like, I'd love to get him to come on my to come on the stream and just talk about his career, because I mean I idolized this cat. I idolized this cat growing up. I did. Like, I straight up idolized this cat. So, the two-time was like, hit him up through, if you hit him up on social media, he'll respond. Just hit him up. So, I hit him up on Instagram. That's what they told me. That's actually where they told me to hit him up. I hit him up on Instagram. And I just I told him who I was. I told him how, what a fan I was growing up as I was a huge fan of his. And I was just, basically very, just in a professional way, just asking, hey man, I'd love to, I'd love to have you come on to my show and, just talk about your career, and like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes goes by and he starts typing to respond, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not even, I'm like, it's like I'm 95% sure in this moment. I'm 95% sure that Sapp is gonna be like, okay, let's set up a time, he'll and I'll just let it be on his time. What time's good for him? We'll set it up, boom, get moving. He's typing, and then I get the response. He says, no. And then he starts typing again. He says, I don't talk to linemen, to offensive linemen. Which, I mean, I kind of laughed when I read it, because I was like, okay, he's joking. He's like fucking around with me. And I just responded back like, LOL. And then he was like, it ain't the first time you've been told no, you'll be okay. I was like, huh? Like, in my head, I was just totally confused. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is he being serious? Is he like seriously like, no? Like, he's like, and now, and I can't remember, and I don't want to look in my phone and start reading it because I still have it on my phone. But I was just kind of like taken aback, because I was like, okay, like, you don't talk to offensive linemen. Is that like a matter of policy for you? Or is this you yanking my chain? And it's crazy because I'm trying to remember exactly what happened after that, because I was sitting there kind of shell shocked. I didn't really know if he was being serious. So I kind of just was like, okay, I was like, man, I said, dude, I grew up. Oh, no, this is when I started telling him about how big a fan I was. I didn't really talk about me being a fan. I just was talking about getting him to come on because, we both played in the league, and I just wanted to talk to him about his career. And then when he said no and he said, I don't talk to linemen, and he said, it's not the first time you heard no, you'll be okay. I was like, my response was like, my response was, I said something to the effect of, hey man, I played defensive line my entire career up until, my second year of college. I was a D lineman before too. I just would love to have you. You were like an idol. You were like my icon. I would love to just, get 20 minutes to talk to you. Just kind of reframing my request in the form of, hey, I'm a fan. I was a huge fan. I had your game jersey, stitched numbers from Tampa Bay. That was, I had that with me all through college. I was a huge Warren Sapp fan. And then he sent me a paragraph talking about, yo, why are you sweating me in my DMs type shit? Basically yo, why, leave me alone. I'm not doing no interview with you. And that's when I was kind of heartbroken off that. I was like, damn. So I guess it is true. Never meet your heroes. And, it takes a lot to I was truly disappointed that it went that way. I was, and I'm not, and I ain't gonna, and hey, can I say that I don't like Warren Sapp now? Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him because he's being a dick for the sake of being a dick. You don't talk to linemen. Come on, dude. Is it that serious that you can't, that you don't, if you don't want to, just say you don't want to, but we're both NFL brothers here. This is like a fraternity. It's not, you're not supposed to shut out another brother in the league. I thought that was the unwritten rule. That's where I started getting mad. I was I thought it's you do what you can to help your other NFL brethren because, we all struggled to get to the top. We all struggled to get to the top. So, I kind of felt there was that kind of shattered the notion that, players look out for players in these little things like this, where it's not anything that really is going to take up a ton of your time. It's not, as long as y'all, we schedule and we coordinate, it'll be at a time, when you feel comfortable doing it, and we can do that. We can make it happen, and then it's done, and I appreciate it. When I hit up Maurice was like, yeah, whenever, let me know when you want to do it and we'll roll. When I hit up Nick Hardwick, same thing. Yeah, ooch, love, because we were teammates in college, but we also played in the league at the same time. He's like, yeah, no problem. Let me know, we'll do it. Geno Hayes, rest in peace. Geno Hayes, me and him had a hell of a conversation on one episode. So, I say all of that to say that, I kind of felt fuck this motherfucker. To be honest, I don't like him no more. All the shit that I thought that you were, you ain't. We're supposed to be there's supposed to be a connection between each and every one of us who have played in this league because it's an elite group of people. The league only has 1,900 people in it, 255 new people every year, but 1,900 as a whole every year. We've been a part of that for years in our lives. So for you to literally like cut me, like not even like decline to do it because you don't have time, you just say, fuck you because I'm an O-lineman? Like, come on, dude. I tried not to have no grudge about it. I did try not to have no grudge about it, but that really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, just personally, I felt like, yo, that's like if I seen you in person and I needed your help with something and we both is players in the league, you wouldn't help me. Which is some bullshit. That is like a true violation. So, at the end of the day, it is true. Don't meet your heroes because they're not who you think they are. And it can be for better or for worse. And in this case, for me, it was absolutely worse. It didn't work. It didn't work out, and it didn't. And I actually lost some of the luster around my perception of who he was. All of the luster that was around my perception of who he was, totally gone out the fucking window. I don't care about that cat. I'm not going to say that I hate him, but I do not give a fuck what happens to him. And, I hope that at some point after him, shutting me down like that and just being rude about it and being the asshole about it, I hope karma caught up on that end because it was unnecessary. It wasn't something that he necessarily had to do. And he chose to go ahead and he chose to be that way. So, it's on him. It's on him. So just thought I'd share that quick story with y'all. Did I already read this? Oh, okay. Hold on. Formerly Rod Line. What's up, man? Another $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. He says you should have asked how his gig over in the NFL Network is going. Oh, wait. Yeah, I mean, there ain't nobody even over here talking about how he was beating up freaking women in Miami when he was with NFL Network. Nobody even brought that up. I ain't even bring nothing like that up. I mean, if I wanted to be an asshole, I could have easily been like, yo, woman beating ass bitch motherfucker. Like, I could have done that easily. But I was just like, man, this is fucked up. Like, dude don't even want to he's like being an asshole. I was just kind of shocked. I was like, damn. Anyways, let's get back to this so I can wrap this up. We got this article from Sports Illustrated that kind of takes us through Maria Taylor's contract situation, which I think is another big... this is a huge point of suspicion for me in the timing behind this entire leak of Rachel Nichols' hot mic moment with ESPN. So let's take a look at this. This was on July 1st. It says, it's no secret ESPN has made a big effort over the past year to avoid handing out bloated contracts. Kenny Mayne was asked to take a 61% pay cut. God damn! MMA reporter Ariel Helwani recently left the network after his contract expired. Trey Wingo also recently departed. Trey Wingo, that's another cat who was a household name. Household name. Maria Taylor, who does sideline reporting for college football and studio hosting for the NBA, is currently in contract negotiations with ESPN, but this particular situation has some interesting and pretty public twists and turns. According to the New York Post, sports media columnist Andrew Marchand, ESPN offered Taylor nearly $500 million per year. ESPN offered Taylor nearly $5 million per year, up from her reported salary of $1 million per year during negotiations last year. Marchand says Taylor turned down the offer because she wanted to get into Stephen A. Smith salary territory, which is $8 million a year. Like, You ain't worth that much. You are not. Let's be honest here for 1 second, folks. I forget the name of the young lady who was doing sideline reporting the other night during the finals. Malika, I think. Malika, I can't remember. You two could swap places and it wouldn't be no different. You ain't worth $8 million a year. What makes you think you're worth $8 million a year? Nobody even knows who you are. Like, why? You want Stephen A. Smith money? How long has Stephen A. Smith been with ESPN, and how long have you been with ESPN? Malika Andrews. Yes, thank you. Malika Andrews, if we swap Maria Taylor and Malika Andrews, do you have a different, like, final show? Is it going to be, like, better or worse? Is there going to be any noticeable difference? Probably not. Probably not. Why? Because you read from a fucking teleprompter. Like, come on, let's be real. You're not, like, actually in Stephen A. Smith league. You're not, because Stephen A. Smith transcends the teleprompter, to his credit. He transcends that teleprompter. He doesn't need a teleprompter to even be on the show. He can do it completely off the rip. And his style is that unique for sports broadcasting that he is in a league of his own. I won't deny it. I don't like him that much. He has his moments, but generally, I feel like he built his career off of stomping on other cats' career, on other players, to the point, especially with Kwame Brown, where it was clearly personal. But I will not deny that the motherfucker is a one-of-a-kind act. That is generational for Jalen Rose's daughter, who don't know a goddamn thing about what generational truly is. That is generational talent. It is. Scummy as he may be, that is generational talent. I don't know who Maria Taylor is. I didn't know who she was until I saw an explosive bombshell strategic leak of a sound clip that said her name. I didn't know who she was before that. And I'm not saying that she's not known. I'm just saying that if you were a household name, I would have been able to pick, I would have noticed at least the moment I seen your face, or the moment that your name was put out there, I would have instantly known who you were. I ain't know who she was. No idea. And again, it's not a knock on what she's done and the work that she's done, but it's just the facts. It's just the reality for me. I ain't never heard of her. Now, with all that said, no, you're not worth $8 million. And the simple fact that you're pushing for $8 million at all is quite ludicrous and quite arrogant and quite an inflated perception of who you are and what you truly bring to the table. Because it's going to be pretty hard. Look, when ESPN when they had an option between Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, who are both, these are guys who are absolutely unique. These guys as a tandem, ESPN couldn't even afford to keep them. That's how good they were. That's how well their chemistry matched, is that they were so good that they literally both had to be paid at least the same amount of money. There was no way to give more money to one or the other. They were both going to be high dollar, high cost talent that there's no, you can only, if you can't, you got to pick one because we can't afford both. That's where ESPN was. They picked Stephen A. Skip went over to Fox. They got him, shoot. And now you got him and Shannon Sharp. They got pretty good chemistry as well. But those two personalities are probably the most recognizable personalities in all of sports media, period. And you think you should make as much as them? That is literally the ego speaking, the inflated sense of self. which is good and well until it gets deflated. There's no way that ESPN, I would not expect to ever see ESPN give her that much money, because she, if you had to replace her, there would be no drop off. If Stephen A. Smith went to a different network, there would be a big drop off for ESPN. That's the difference between those two. She is not valuable in the same sense that Stephen A. Smith is valuable. She's not even close. Not even close. So if they offered you $5 million, which is look, I will give her the $5 million, because I really don't know who she was, so I can't speak to the actual quality of her broadcasting. But if they're going to offer you $5 million, I'm going to assume you're a pretty good broadcaster. So to offer her $5 million and she turn it down, you think another company going to offer you $5 million? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. So this is a situation where people can't or are not willing to be realistic about the market that they are in. She was not being realistic, and she turned down $5 million. So she, unless ESPN does some real like clown shit and just gives her everything she wants because she says she's going to do this or do that, or make a claim that they're this or that, I don't see where in the hell that she plans on going from $5 million to get her to $8 million. That ain't going to happen. Woo. Continue. Now, while they are in a cost-cutting mode after a pandemic, Marchand says ESPN is offering Taylor a deal in the $2 to $3 million range. Yeah, that's about right. They're offering you literally a 300% upgrade in pay, from $1 million to $3 million, or 200%. They're offering you a 200% raise. They are doubling. They're tripling your money. Fuck, I'm confusing myself. 1 to 3 is just a 2. That's 2. So you're adding 2 on top. They're more than doubling your money. Let's just put it that way. Shit. And I think honestly, this is actually like, that's where you probably are. And this would be on the high end right here. I think I think that $3 million is actually on the high end. I think 2 to 2.5 would probably, for ESPN, is probably the sweet spot, but they'll give you 3. They'll give you 3, and that's cool. Everybody gets probably a little more than they probably should when it comes to extensions, because you're projecting for the future. So I ain't mad at that. I've been surprised by how much some of those guys are getting paid. I could do that job. I could do that job. I don't have a problem speaking. I don't have a problem being in front of a camera. I love to talk. And I can read. I can read very well off a prompter. Not hard. But I mean, of course, that's not an easy job to do. There's a lot that goes into it, I'm sure, that is, in its own right, very difficult to master. But those who have mastered it and have taken full advantage are people that are known across platforms. And I don't know her. I never knew her before this. If you listen to the SI Media podcast, you've noticed that a big topic on recent episodes has been that life after ESPN isn't so bad, and media people can carve out a very successful career without the worldwide leader. Of course. That's what they got YouTube for. Let's see here. Would Taylor turn down a salary close to $3 million a year from ESPN to go out on her own? Obviously, other networks that carry sports, CBS, Fox, NBC, will be more than interested in bringing Taylor into the fold, but it's not likely those networks will get to a salary in the $8 million range. Yeah, they're not going to give you some ridiculous number that you ain't worth. While ESPN has shown that it has no problem with letting talent go, and they don't, the network has also made it clear that it's willing to pay for certain personalities like Smith, Scott Van Pelt, and Mike Greenberg. These are They're household names. These are the ones who literally provide them with the best ratings that they have. Because other than these cats, Smith, Scott Van Pelt, and Mike Greenberg, their ratings ain't shit. So if you're connecting the dots here, then you probably know where I'm going with this. In that the people who they kept and the people who they paid are the ones that are the biggest draws. Taylor is an up-and-comer, but she's not the biggest draw. She has a very varied portfolio of work, but, you know, quality over quantity. I think, you know, again, I can't judge her actual skills because I ain't never really even seen her that I know of. But, you know, she is a rising star apparently, but that's not worth $8 million. Rising star isn't getting superstar money. Rising star is getting good money based on potential for the future. And then probably will get broke off once you are a bona fide star who is known and who has endorsements, cross brands, that puts you in front of the American public on a semi-regular basis outside of the actual work that you do. That's how you build that kind of clout. Taylor is a star on the rise, and based on last year's $5 million offer, ESPN knows that. It will be fascinating to see whether ESPN buckles and ups its offer to keep Taylor. One other twist is in this saga is that Taylor's contract expires on July 20th. The NBA Finals, which Taylor works as a host of NBA Countdown, could end on July 22nd if the series goes 7 games. Taylor got some public and cheeky support in her contract negotiations with ESPN from colleague Jalen Rose last night. And I've needs to raise. Jalen Rose says Maria Taylor needs a raise on NBA Countdown. Amid reports she turned down $5 million a year. Yeah, Jalen wouldn't turn down $5 million a year, and he ain't making that. We know that. The latest episode of the Sports Illustrated Media Podcast dropped Thursday morning. What is this? Are they talking about? What is this? No, this ain't. Is that it? I guess that's what? I don't even see nothing on ESPN over here. Is this the same article? God, this is so confusing. What's going on? Is this? No, this can't be the same article, right? No. What the hell? Weird. Okay. Oh, okay. So, okay. I don't know. That's it. Okay. So, in a nutshell, we got it down. She has turned down $5 million a year. I mean, God damn, $5 million a year. You turning that down? I just keep thinking about that. Like, $5 million a year. Let's say it's a 5-year contract. You're getting $25 million in 5 years. After taxes, probably more like, 16, 17. But when they're giving cats like Kenny Mayne a 61% pay cut, you think you worth $8 million, not $5 million. ESPN is not going to re-sign her. I doubt it. I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Why would they? Let's see here. Report potential destination emerges for, okay, what's this say? This is an article that just, okay. Yeah, like every time I see a picture of her, it like doesn't ring a bell. It doesn't ring a bell. I've never seen her. I don't remember ever seeing her. It says report potential destination emerges for Maria Taylor. Last week, it was reported Maria Taylor's contract set to expire around July 20th. That means worldwide leader in sports is running out of time to make a deal happen. Taylor is one of the most versatile workers ESPN has at the moment. See, and this is the thing. When people know that you are that dude or you are that chick. They don't say one of the most versatile workers ESPN has at the moment. These are not the ways that you describe a superstar. A person who is literally at the level of a Stephen A., at the level of a Scott Van Pelt, at the level of, these household names. I keep coming back to that phrase, household names. But when they say is one of the most versatile workers, that just means you're a core person. You're a core contributor for the company. You do a lot. Man of many hats, woman of many hats in this situation. But this is not an endorsement as, somebody who is worth Stephen A. Smith money. When they talk about Stephen A. Smith, they don't say Stephen A. Smith is one of the most versatile workers ESPN has at the moment. They say Stephen A. Smith is the most recognized and biggest name at ESPN. That's what they say. She's been an excellent host for ESPN's NBA Countdown, as well as an outstanding sideline reporter for the network's college football coverage. According to Andrew Marshall, she was offered a raise from her current. Yes, we know these things. ESPN wants to keep Taylor around for the foreseeable future, but the network has not met her asking price. To make matters worse, it sounds like she has another suitor in the open market. Martin is reporting that NBC could be a potential destination for Taylor if she doesn't re-sign with ESPN. A year ago, ESPN had offered a contract that would eventually reach near $5 million per year towards its conclusion. With ESPN currently cutting salaries, the two sides have been far apart, with NBC emerging as a possible destination for Taylor. Okay, so what does that mean? If she's on NBC, far less exposure, far less actual opportunities to host major events, and not nearly. I mean, yes, ESPN's ratings have been sucking for a few years now, but it is still the biggest in terms of reach when it comes to sports broadcasting, when it comes to, from whether it's on the internet side or on the TV side. They are still the biggest, and they are owned by Disney. So, they got infinite money almost at Disney. So, this kind of brings a new perspective. NBC's not really, I don't see NBC giving her $8 million. I don't see that happening. NBC recently signed Kari Champion and Kenny Mayne, who was at ESPN, so it does have some history with ESPN broadcasters. The fact that Taylor and ESPN are far apart on a new deal is not a great sign for her future at the company. The good news, however, is that she's so talented, she should be at the top of every sports media company's wish list. Taylor, 34, has proven that she can handle a multitude of roles over the past few years. Now she's hoping to cash in with a new contract. NBC. Okay. What is this? Sportscasting. Oh my God. Jason Whitlock. Oh God. Jason Whitlock is somebody that annoys the shit out of me. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm not really sure if I really want to even read all this. Yeah, maybe if I catch a sound bite at some point. Okay, so I think that is that is in a nutshell, that is kind of the that's how it's all set up. That's the story. That's how it's all put together. I just don't think that when you look at this whole thing and you try to boil it down to something as, when you're looking at business, you're looking at, how politics in the workplace works, and you're trying to give a kind of you're trying to project an image of what this entire thing boils down to. I honestly feel like what's happening is it's a monster of ESPN's own making. I think that's what it boils down to. I think that ESPN has engulfed, has completely immersed itself into a position to bill itself as a certain kind of company when it's not, and the damage that has kind of done to this company over the last few years, from a money standpoint, they really can't even keep their best people on board. They're hemorrhaging money, and the one person that they had to pay, or it would really be like, it could be a fatal blow, they had to pay Stephen A. Smith. They had to. They had no option, and they knew that. They've been knowing that. They were going to have to pay this cat a lot of money, and they did. I think that Rachel Nichols was probably, if there was one person who you could guess could match that income, could match that kind of contract that Stephen A. was getting, I would say it would have been Rachel Nichols. I would say that she was, before all of this, she was probably the next in line to get that kind of money, because her brand as an individual, carried that much weight. I don't really know what her brand, where it is now. I don't know. I don't want to guess on that right now, but ESPN, in my opinion, has allowed and has manipulated so that these two women can go to battle, and they know that it's not really a battle that Rachel Nichols can win, because the simple fact that she was mad about what she already saw they were trying to do, the simple fact that she saw what they were trying to do, and she knows why they were trying to do it, and she called that out and was recorded saying it, that gave ESPN everything they needed to avoid having to pay two people. I think that Maria Taylor, talented as she is, and probably deserving as she is to be the host of the NBA Finals, I think that she actually doesn't do. I think she does. I actually think she's not actually helping the bigger picture for the broadcasters at ESPN, because she actually weaponized that audio, that recording. She weaponized it to make sure that even with the perception, she could get rid of Rachel Nichols from and being considered to continue with the NBA Finals, which, is essentially would probably see her contract run out without any kind of renewal from ESPN, or a lesser amount of money than probably she deserves. And it doesn't really, and that allows her the space to try and leverage ESPN. But I just don't think ESPN is going to give her the money she wants, because they actually made a hell of a fucking offer at $5 million. So, it's weird. I just don't know why people were so fast to say that what she was saying was racist, because I just did not see it that way. And, that's just me being honest. Like, when I see something and I think it's racist, I say, yeah, that's right. I was pretty fucking racist. But this was not even, I don't think that it was. I think she was making a point based on what most people who are being real with themselves kind of know. And people who don't want to face that and actually have the conversation about that, about corporations faking the funk when it comes to, diversity, they pander, and ESPN is at the front of that pack when it comes to pandering. I mean, there are some cats who are on as broadcasters. There are some cats who are not they're not very good at all, but they on there. So why are they on there if they suck so bad? I mean, what's his name? Kendrick Perkins? Come on, man. Kendrick Perkins is the least charismatic, stoic face, the most stoic faced, gibberish talking. I mean, come on, dude. This cat is not he should not in any way be where he is as a broadcaster at ESPN. That is my full-blown belief and opinion on Kendrick Perkins. He should not be where he is as a broadcaster. He is where he is because he has rings. That's the only reason. That is the only reason. Because he has rings. That's it. But he is not a TV personality, and he doesn't have what it takes to be a TV personality based on what I've seen. But I'll be honest, I've seen Kendrick Perkins more covering NBA than I've seen Maria Taylor. So what, that's what it is. I don't know what to say. That dude is terrible. He is. I mean, you know what? I want to have a little fun before we finish this stream up. I want to have a little fun. I want to actually see. I don't even know what to look for. No. Kendrick Perkins, ESPN. I don't know. Shit. Oh. Oh my goodness. Kendrick Perkins saying dumb stuff for 15 minutes straight. Ryan Hollins 2.0? All right, let's take a look. Hell yeah. Whoops. Shit.
Niggas playing deadly motherfucking war games.
Why is it? It's about to get my shit copyrighted.
If you had to vote right now, Stephen A., you may have a vote for all I know.
Yeah.
Would you cast your vote for MVP for LeBron or Giannis?
It would be for Giannis, but the race is not over, even though the level of dominance that the Greek Freak has been putting forth, you can't deny it. I do believe the Eastern Conference is weaker. I do believe that the Lakers being the second best team in basketball with the best, Giannis has led the way. He's been a LeBron could. Okay.
All right, so
Nino Brown.
Yeah, my Nino. Yeah.
What do you think, Mr. T?
Well, it's not Mr. T. I was gonna tell Stephen A. This is more like my Nino Brown look.
Okay.
All right, so
But Nino Brown
yeah,
is about
my
half
Nino,
your size.
yeah,
He's
my
about half.
Oh man. I was gonna say something about his suit sleeves being way too tight on his forearms, but
Your size. But go ahead.
Who's the MVP?
But now I'm right there. So listen, they have to finish the season out. It's time for us to hand LeBron his flowers while he's still alive so he can smell them. We have to quit disrespecting this man's greatness. For 17 straight years, this guy has lived up to the hype. He's lived up to everything, has succeeded expectations, and he has dominated this year. I mean, the narrative, LeBron was in the East for 4 years, and, the East is weak, so we can't praise LeBron.
Let me stop right there. What you saying is so blasphemous. So asinine. I'm appalled. Want me to tell you why? You know what? You've been hanging out with Rich Paul and
I don't hang out with Rich Paul.
I'm just being facetious, but here's the deal. I know I talk to him all the time, but let me tell you something because he drives me crazy. what do we have to do? Now, we've acknowledged that LeBron James is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's the greatest player in the game today, one of the greatest players that ever lived. We've got him pretty much top 2 all time. My God, it's oh my, how disrespectful is that to LeBron James? This is.
All right. I don't know. That's too much.
They-
I need to hear
I'm
like
saying
these need to be
let's
quick
not get bored
clips.
With the process.
I
Let's appreciate.
Personally, I feel like KP. I'm telling you, be the first.
That's
What the hell is this? Oh, it's playing in reverse. I'm like, I know this cat ain't got handles like that though. But look at how this motherfucker big. He look like an old lineman. Man, show me some Kendrick Perkins bloopers. How about that? Huh. Okay, we got fails. Man, I mean, I don't really care about his game. I want to see his anyways, I don't dig too much into this. Whatever. I'm over that. I'm over that now. I just wanted to make the point that he's a garbage commentator and broadcaster, and you know, he is. He's not charismatic. He doesn't have any real energy about him. He's just out there. Man, look. I'm an offensive lineman. My mentality is different than what these basketball cats be on. I ain't look. He want to line up, we can line up. I bet you I pancake his ass and I hit a jump shot on him. Guarantee that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Anyways, that is going to do it for this live stream, everybody. We finished up from earlier. Man, we really, I mean, we've been going. We really been going. But I do appreciate everybody for being in here. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already done so. If this is your first time on the live stream, hit that subscribe button. Join the O-line and be a part of this movement as we move forward, as we grow as a channel. You know, I'm doing these live streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I missed yesterday, so today is a makeup day. You know, I feel like we got a pretty good showing starting this thing around, when did I start? Around 2 p.m.? So, you know, might consider, you know, might bounce around on the time a little bit, just depending. We'll see, though. But make sure you hit that bell notification so you can get notified each and every time I go live. I'll be clipping some of this stuff down and dropping it as videos later on in the evening. So make sure you are on the lookout for that if you didn't catch all of the live stream. But you guys have been pretty awesome. I really do appreciate you guys. Hope everyone has a wonderful night. Hope everyone is doing well. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And I will catch you all on the next one.